Hello my dear students, and I welcome you for the physics class. Today I will start the class with a quote for you. What is the quote? The quote is, "Rise above the storm and you will find the sunshine." Can you tell me why I have started the chapter or started the class today with a quote, and that too I feel some of you have understood the meaning of this particular quote. What I want to say to you. Storm here for you is your board exam. I feel. So rise above that storm. So what you have to do, you have to study hard, be regular. Then what happen? You can overcome that particular storm. Then what will happen? You will find the sunshine in your life. Okay, in your sunshine in your life means you will have a bright future. You will get lots of scope. So this quote has a very good meaning for all of you. So since I want to tell you, all my dear students, please understand the depth of the sentence means quote and try to utilize it in your life. Okay, so now after this I have told you this, and best wishes for your board exam, best wishes for the class. Hope we will enjoy the class. Let's move to the class now. So we have discussed in our last class the electric charges. Okay, so for today's class we will be discussing the main points. I will say we will be discussing today the electric current. Done? In the CBSE board exam, if I talk about the topic electric current, there are four basic types of questions that might come in the exam. First one is the definition. It might come for 1 mark. Next comes the SI unit. Okay. Next comes the numericals. Next comes the device to measure current. So all these are 1 marks question. Along with, you will sometimes find the direction of current also. Okay, so these are the 5 basic things that might come from this particular topic, that is electric current. Done? So if I say these are the basic topics or main topics for today's class, means we will define the definition, give the definition, we'll write the SI unit, we will do some numericals also, we will write down the device also which is used to measure the current, and also we'll learn about the direction of current. Okay, so for today's class these are the main topics, and after learning this topic we will be able to understand this particular 5 points. So for today's class, the key points, if I say the keywords will be: number 1, electric current; number 2, ampere; number 3, ammeter; number 4, electron; number 5, I can use the term what I can say, conventional current. Okay, so these are the main keywords for today's class. Done? So now let us start with the topic, that is electric current. Now tell me, when we say current, all of you will define the term current as what? Ma'am, it will be the rate of flow of charge. Okay. Rate of flow of charge. Now the question is, why the charges flows? Okay. Now let me tell you. Means if I talk about the conductor and an insulator, in conductor we are able to find out where we say that it conducts electricity or current flows. But if it is an insulator, current will not flow. Why? There is a difference in a conductor and an insulator. Okay, what is the difference between an insulator and other one is a conductor. What is the difference between these two particular elements or materials? If I say insulator, suppose this is an insulator, the atoms that are present inside the insulator are tightly bound with one another. As a result, there will be no free electrons or no free charge carriers. So if there is no free charge carriers, if the charges will not flow, then will there be current? No. So that is why in insulator we are not getting any current. Why? Because there is no free electrons or free charge carriers. Now the question arises, but in case of conductor, what actually happens? There is also the bound, means if I talk about a crystal or any other conductor, then what happens? Atoms are regularly arranged or not? Yes, they are regularly arranged. Then how come, from where the electrons comes? Now next question. From where I am getting the electrons so that it is flowing? Yes. So let us draw a conductor now. Not a conductor, entire conductor I will draw. I think that this is an atom. This is the nucleus of the atom, and we have so many shells are there, and this is the outermost cell. Okay? Yes? Suppose I say that in the outermost cell we have only one electron. Let us assume this is a conductor. It has a outermost cell. In outermost cell, how many electrons are there? Only one electrons are there. Is it okay? So if one electron is there, then this electron, suppose another atom is here. See, one electron is there. Next, another atom is there. Here again, one electron is there. It's okay. Now, what happened? Will this electron move? Will this electron move? No. Then it will not move. Why? But we said that in a conductor it moves. Actually, why it moves? Until and unless we apply a force on this atom, the electron will not move. So what we have to do? We have to apply a force from outside. We'll come to know about why this force arises in the next topic, but just now you remember that we will apply a force from outside, and because of that force, what will happen? The electron which is present in the outermost cell will come out of the cell. Okay, understood? But if I talk about, you might say, ma'am, below also some, in this also some electrons are there. It will also come out. But see, outermost cell, it is a far away. You have studied far away. In chemistry also you have studied. Then what happened? It is loosely bound to the nucleus. But compared, if it has 8 electrons, then it will be tightly bound. So if it is tightly bound, then it will not come out. But if it is loosely bound, then it will come out. So as a result, this electron will come out, jump. So if it jumps, then where it will go? Now the question is, where it will go? It cannot go outside the conductor. If this is a conductor, the electron, if it is free, if it comes out of the atom from this, it will not come out to the outside surrounding. Will it come out? No. Then what happens? Then it will jump to the nearby atom. When it jumps to the nearby atom, already another electron is there. So we will get another electron there. Means we are transferring the energy. Okay, as a result, what will happen? This, when we apply a force in this particular place, this force will be transmitted to the next also. It cannot happen that I have applied a force on this particular thing and only on one atom the force will be applied, the others will not be affected. No, all will be affected. So if all are affected, then what happens? This will jump here and this two will no longer be there. It will jump to the third one. Then again, how many electrons will come? 3 electrons will come. It will again jump to the next one. Then again it will jump and will come back to the first atom. Means here what happened? The electrons are moving and coming back to the same place. So as a result, what we have observed? We have observed that electrons are jumping from one atom to another atom. Means they are transferring their energy. Means you can talk about vibration. So 2 molecules are there. If one molecule, if you have 10 students standing on a row, if you are standing one after another like this, and one will push, what will happen? Next will also get pushed. The third one will also, fourth one also. So what happened? Energy is transferred or not? Similarly, what happened? This energy is transferred, and as a result, what will happen? The electron is jumping from one place to another, one atom to another. What I have observed? I observed that the electrons are moving or not. This movement of electron is known as electric current. Okay? So why the electron moves? Electron moves and it will not move. Suppose I have a conductor, copper wire. Copper is a conductor. If I have a copper wire, will it conduct? If I will touch, do I feel that it has some electricity? No. If I place that particular conductor, with an external battery, then only the current will flow, means the charges will move. That means what? If we are supplying with a voltage, means external supply, source is there, battery is there, then only what we can say the current will be flowing, means we are giving a force on the electrons. So the means now we have learned about what is current. Current is the flow of charge or not. Now in standard definition, it is defined that current is the rate of flow of charge, means it is rate of flow of charge. Okay, or else you can define the amount of current, the amount of charge flowing per second is called electric current. It's okay, this is the definition of electric current. Means amount of charge flowing per second. So per second what will be the flow? This it is denoted by, how we used to denote it? It is denoted by capital I. Or sometimes in some books it is written as small I also. No problem if you write capital I also, if you write small I also. So this is my electric current. Now how will I do the mathematical part? Part. If I write I will be equals to what? Charge divided by what will come? Divided by time will come, which is equals to Q divided by T. So what we got? Now we got the definition. First part we got definition. Second part we got the mathematical expression also. Why we need the mathematical expression? In order to solve the numericals. Okay. So now we got the relation, or we got the mathematical expression for current as I is equals to Q divided by T. So this is the mathematical expression for electric current. Hope till now it is clear to all of you. In exam it will come what is electric current, what is the mathematical form. But how the current comes? Current comes because of the motion of the charges, that to the electrons. Because why? If there is a force exerted on the atoms, and that force, because of that force, electrons comes out of the outermost cell. It's okay. That is how the charges, or we can say how the electric current will be flowing. Or another thing I would like to say here. Or else, now the next question. Next part is, what is the SI unit? What is the SI unit of electric current? If I talk about SI unit is, what is the unit of charge? Charge unit is coulomb. What is the unit of time? Time is second. So we can write I is equals to coulomb per second, which is equal to ampere, A-M-P-E-R-E, A-M-P-E-R-E, denoted by the letter capital A. Okay, you might have seen that when we brought the fuse at your home, it is written 5 ampere. Sometimes we used to say that it is 15 ampere, like that or not. So that is ampere, means we are discussing about the current there through the fuse. Okay, so this is my current. But if I say ampere is a very large unit, means big unit. So it basically for means if I talk about the mobile battery, or if I talk about small devices which need very less. LED bulbs are there. They don't need so much current to grow. They need very less amount of current to grow. Similarly, we have some devices which need very less amount of current. So I will not be able to measure in terms of ampere. So I will use the term microampere Okay, it is denoted by 1 micro is written like that. I have told you in coulomb also, which is nothing but equals to 10 to the power minus 6 ampere. And another one is 1 millicoulomb, not coulomb, sorry, ampere, which I will write 1 MA, it is equals to 10 to the power minus 3 ampere. So these are the smaller units of electric current. Okay, so what we have learned, what is the definition of electric current? Next we have learned the mathematical expression. Third we have learned the SI unit. Done. Next comes the next comes the device that is used to measure it. What is the device known as? Device to measure current. The device to measure current, I have not written electric current, I have written current only, no problem, is known as ammeter. A-M-M-E-T-E-R, ammeter. Okay, and what is the symbol for it? We have to draw a circle here. Two terminals will be there. In between I have to write capital A. One side will be positive, one side will be negative. Means a ammeter will have a positive and a negative terminal. So this is an ammeter. Means it will measure the current in ampere. What did I say? It will measure the current in ampere. Now if I say it is a milliammeter, milliammeter is also there, then I have to write MA like this. Means M will be there and A will be after that. And sometimes it can be microammeter also, microammeter, so micro symbol will be there. In some cases, if I will go to lab, I will show you what is a microammeter, what is a milliammeter. So this is microammeter and milliammeter, but remember, if I am writing MA somewhere, suppose this is my MA I have written, you should understand that this will measure current not in ampere but will measure current in milliampere. Okay. So everything, whatever I am saying, small points, every point is important for exam point of view. Don't take lightly. Okay. Now, if I come to know about the device that will measure, now how to connect this in a circuit? It will always be connected in series. Do you know what is series? Let's give an example. Suppose 6 students are there. 6 students are there. And what happened? Let me draw here. 6 students are there. This is one first student. Hands are like this. So second student will be there. What happened? They are holding like this. One hand is free. Next another one came. Then he is also holding like this. One after another we are connecting it. So this is what? Series. Now what happened? The other, they have decided that we will not stay like this. What will happen? One will come in front of him. Means in front of him he will come and he will hold both the hands one after another. So it is parallel. Means this is a friend. Okay. Another one is here. No doubt. Both the hands they are holding together like this. So one after another. Both. Then it is parallel. And if I am holding one is free, then it will be series connection. So in a circuit, we will always connect an ammeter in series. Means in a circuit, we will always connect an ammeter in series, not in parallel. So how to connect the ammeter? I will show you in the next topic, but not today because my topic for today is only electric current, not beyond that. Okay. Now what is the direction of current now in a circuit? What is the direction of current? Suppose I say this is a conductor. This is a conductor. And I have connected this cell here. And what happened? The electrons are there or not? The electrons are there. These are suppose free electrons. And what happened? These free electrons will move in which direction? These free electrons will move in this direction. Yes, these free electrons will move in this direction. This is the direction of what? Direction of electrons. Done. Opposite to the direction of electron is the direction of current. Done. Initially, why I use the term convention? Convention is used because initially it was given as a convention. Like they have thought that the direction is from, they say that the direction of current is from positive terminal to the negative terminal of a cell. It is decided that initially when they don't know, when the scientists do not know that the current is because of the motion of the electrons. At that time, when the scientists were not aware that the current is the motion of the electrons, then it was decided that then they have assumed that the direction of current is from positive terminal of a cell to the negative terminal of the cell. Okay, but afterwards they came to know that the current is because of the motion of the what? Electrons, motion of the electrons. But afterwards, if they came to know also, they didn't change it. They didn't change the direction of electron is the direction of current. They have not changed anything. So it is called that it is a by convention we say that the direction of current is from positive terminal of the battery to the negative terminal of the battery. Or else if you want to say it is opposite to the direction of electron. Or else if you want to say, you can say that it is along the direction of motion of the positive charge. Then you might say, ma'am, protons will not move. Yes, protons will not move. Protons will not move, but if the electrons are moving in this direction, we assume that the positive charges will move in the opposite direction. For that reason, we can consider the direction of current to be the direction of positive charges. Okay, so what is the direction of current? Direction of current is opposite to the direction of electrons. One answer. What is the conventional direction of current? Conventional direction of current is from the positive terminal to the negative terminal of the battery, or we can say that it is along the direction of motion of the positive charge. So these are the things that we have studied today. So what are the things we have studied? We studied the definition of electric current, then we have studied the mathematical expression, then we have studied the SI unit of electric current, then next what we have studied? We have studied the device that is used to measure electric current. Then lastly we have studied the direction of electric current for today's class. I would like to say you here another note important, because in numericals we will use it. When I have written current, how we have written the definition of current? Do you remember how we have written? Current equals to charge divided by time. Just recall our last lecture. The lecture that I have given you in the last class. What did I say about charge? Do you remember quantization of charge? What is quantization of charge? The total charge of a body will be integral multiple of the electronic charge, of the charge of an electron. So Q I can write NE divided by T. Okay, so this is the another formula that we will be using in case of some numericals to solve it. Okay, let's move. We will do some numericals now. Okay, let's do some numericals now. So numerical, first one, suppose I say question, I will send it to you. Only one question I will discuss with you. Calculate the number of electrons that flows per second to constitute. It is question number 3 in your assignment question. Calculate the number of electrons that flow per second. Means you have to calculate number of electrons that flow per second to constitute a current of 1 ampere. What will be the number of electrons that is required to flow so that a current of 1 ampere is there? Means, see, in this particular case, and also it is given that charge of an electron is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. This value is given to you. Okay. So what are the given terms if I say? So given terms if I say, I can write given current I is equals to 1 ampere. Done. And charge, it is not a capital Q, it is a charge of 1 electron. So I can write E is equals to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Done? Then we have to calculate small n. What will be the value of small n? Number of electrons you have to calculate, yes or no? And what else we can do? Per second it is given, time equals to 1 second. So which formula I will use now? We know. What is the formula? I is equals to Q by T. But in my question, is the value of Q given? No. Q is not given. So what I will do now? I will write NE divided by T. I hope it is clear. So now I can write I is equals to NE divided by T. What is I here? I is 1 ampere. What is N here? N is, we have to calculate it. What is E? 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. What is T? 1 second. So what will be my N? Calculate the value of N. Understood? This is how you have to solve the numericals in the chapter. Okay. I already said that. What is the device known as to measure the current, electric current? What is the device? Can anyone tell me? If you remember, what is the device? The device is an ammeter. So ammeter, how it looks like? This one. This is small circular one. I will show you one picture also with it. So it's a circular one. And what happened? There is a scale like this. This is very important scale. So I am drawing what? I am drawing an ammeter. Scale is there. The scale starts from what? 0. And the scale, suppose I said it ends at 3. And at the center here, there is a pointer. It's like this, pointer. And it will be written capital A. Not here, but at the middle. So if it is written A means it is a ammeter. If I have written MA, then it will be measured in milliampere. Okay. Now, so what happened? 3 is there. So I will write here 1. I will write here 2. See, I have drawn this as an assumption. Don't think that all the ammeters will be like this. Ammeter may be different. Now, from 0 to 1, I will draw 5 lines. Sorry, I have drawn, means 4 divisions will be there. 5 divisions will be there. Let me draw 5 divisions. 10 division is better. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Means in between how many divisions are there? I have said 10 divisions are there. So from 1 to 5 also how many divisions? 10 divisions are there. From 2 to 3 again 10 divisions will be there. Then 10 divisions are there. So this is my ammeter. You will see the ammeter like this. Now there is a term here which is known as the least count. Let me tell you the definition. I am not asking for this. Least count means if you have any device that can measure anything, the least value that it can measure. Okay. Suppose I have a meter scale with me. I have a meter scale with me. What is the least value the meter scale can measure? Meter scale is like this or not? This is a meter scale. What is the least value? It will start from 0. Suppose this is 20 or 30 it is given. Done. Then suppose it is a smaller scale, then it will be 10 will be there. So I have 1, 2, 3. So if I will write 5, suppose this is 4, this is 5. Again in between what happens? We have small divisions or not. So this is 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 3 centimeter, 4 centimeter, 5 centimeter. Can I measure 1 centimeter? Can I say 1 centimeter is the least value that you can measure with the help of the meter scale? No. So what happened? From here to here, if I measure, this is what? 1 millimeter or not? So 1 millimeter is the least count of what? A meter scale. I have a watch in my hand. What is the least value that I can measure with the help of this watch? 1 hour is the not least. Least is what? 1 second. So 1 second is the least value of this particular device. Similarly, this ammeter can measure a certain minimum value. That minimum value is known as the least count of the device. So see, from here you have so many divisions are there. So I cannot say 1 is the least count. I cannot say 2 or 3 is the least count. I have to find out what this value is. So that value is the least count of this particular emitter. So if the emitters are different, we will have different least counts. I cannot say that all the emitter will have same least count. The values will be different. Okay, now. So another thing I would like to say you here, if this is an emitter, the emitter will have a range. Range means from where to where it can measure, from which value to which value. Suppose I take a small meter scale like this 1 centimeters will have a in the geometry box, that one. What is the minimum? What is the max minimum value? 0 you can measure, and what is the maximum it can measure? 10 centimeter. So what is the range? 0 to 10 centimeter. But if I take this one, it will be 0 to 10 or 30. Yes. If I take this much bigger, 0 to 100 centimeter. So range is what? From where to where it can measure. So what is the range of this device? It is the range is 0 to 3. I have written like this, ampere. Done? Okay. What is least count mathematically? If I say least count definition, so I said already the least count definition is what? Minimum measurement of a particular device. So least count is equals to range divided by number of divisions. Okay. Range means 0 to 3. What is the maximum value? Maximum is 3 or not? So range I will write 3. It is measured in what? Ampere. So I will write 3 ampere. So from 0 to 3, how many divisions are there? So from here to here it is 10. Then from here 10, 20. Then this is 10, 30. So it will be 30. Means 1 by 10 ampere, or I can write 0.1 ampere. Means one division will be 0.1 ampere. Okay, now if I know how much one division is 0.1 ampere. Now suppose I say my pointer is here, this point. How many divisions are there? Till 1, the division is 10. Then 11, 12, 13. So what is the value? What is the reading of this emitter? What is the reading of this emitter? How can I say? Reading is what? Reading of this emitter is how many divisions? Means what is the number of divisions? 13. One scale value is how much? 0.1. 13 into 0.1 means it is 1.3 ampere is the reading of the emitter. So this is how we have to calculate for an emitter, how to find the least count, how to find the values. Suppose instead of A, it is written MA. Then I will not write A here and A here, A here. I will write MA. No changes will come, only MA I can write. Means it will change to M. Okay. Suppose I say that from 0 to 1 there are 5 divisions. Listen. From 0 to 1 there are 5 divisions. Suppose this is my 0, this is my 1. How many divisions are there? 5 divisions are there. So this is first division, second, third, fourth, fifth. One may be bigger, sorry, this is. So what is the least count here? So LC, if I write least count, what is the range? 1. How many divisions are there? 5. So it will be 0.2 ampere. So if it is ampere. Understood? It means one division will measure how much? 0.2 ampere. So for today's class, whatever we have discussed, we discussed definition of electric current, then we discussed the SI unit, mathematical form, then what? The direction of current. Then we have done one numerical also. Then we have discussed the device emitter to find out the least count of this particular device. So that's all for today's class. I will give you some questions. Try to solve those questions, and I will show you an emitter with a picture of an emitter in between, means after this. Okay, thank you.